Hi, this is Teddy Burriss, your LinkedIn strategist and trainer, and I have two things that I want to share with you today that I think you're going to find really useful and at least interesting. So here's the first thing. If you notice right here on my Newsfeed, I have sort by, and I can hit this down arrow and I can go from recent to top. If I switch it to top, then it gives me a presentation of the items in my newsfeed based on lots of things I don't clearly understand. It might be relevance, companies I've engaged on, might be content that has a higher level of engagement, maybe content that's relevant to me in some way or another. Not sure exactly what it is, but the algorithms are saying that this content is more relevant or important to me than the stuff downstream. Now, look what happens when I switch to recent. Recent shows me the content that has been the most recently engaged on. Now, this is 11 hours old, so maybe Tracy Flynn just liked it just now, and that's why it's in my newsfeed. But if you look down here, you'll see that here's content that Karen posted 2 minutes ago. And again, and Dane may have just recently engaged on this, and this content down here, Terry just engaged on it, but I'm looking for one that's fairly new, a new post. And if I look here, these are probably all because Tracy's engaging on that or Greg's celebrating this. And so if I come down a little further, I'm going to find 5 minutes ago, Nancy posted this. So recent is content that has been most recently posted or most recently engaged on by someone in my network. Now that's been that way, it hasn't changed for years. But here's what's really important to notice. It used to be that when you switched to recent and you click to go back to the home page, it would go back to top. If I refresh LinkedIn altogether, it would go back to top, but it's not changing. And watch this, I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna sign back in and it's still recent. This is what's changed. LinkedIn has decided for whatever reason that they wanted to leave the sort by where you put it on the settings that you decided, whether it's recent or top. Whereas again, what used to happen is when you switched to recent and you would refresh, it would go back to top, and it's not changing right now. I want to thank Mr. Randy Wooden, who works for Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina, for pointing this out to me because he discovered it himself. And I just think it's worth noting. How much is that going to affect how you use LinkedIn? I don't know. I don't know your processes. For me, that's important, and here's why. I want to know when my people are using LinkedIn and engaging. Daniel's one of my connections. I want to pay attention to when my network is touching content and engaging on content or posting content. The sooner I know that, the quicker I can respond to them in some meaningful way, the more rich the conversation begins. That's change number one. Now let me show you change number two, and it's not really huge, not really monumental, but it's at least worth knowing. If you go down to the company pages and you look at the what I call the ghost icon for company pages has changed. It's a little bit bolder of a gray now. Don't know why they spent this time and energy to roll out an updated icon for what's called ghost pages. Let me show you another one. So I can show you this lady's company page. You can see here they're just a darker, richer gray than what they used to be. And it's just an observation. Again, I'm not sure what it means, but that change has been happening. So let me share with you the third, maybe not a big change, but observation that I just realized. Well, it used to be you could only read an article on the LinkedIn newsfeed on mobile and you could save that article. You can do that on desktop now, save for later. On any one of these posts under the 3 dots, what's called the more dots, save for later. And when I save that for later, now whether I'm on mobile or desktop, on mobile it's under your profile dashboard, but on desktop it's right here on the left column, saved items. And here's all of the saved items. I just saved this just now that I said I want to read later. Really useful to do if you've got a lot going on and you discover content on LinkedIn that you want to read, you want to peruse, you want to think through, then you save it for later. And again, whether on desktop or on mobile, it's under your dashboard and your profile. You can go to saved items and you can go look at it. And once you've read it, unsave it. Read all the ones you want to read, watch the ones you want to watch, whatever. And when you're done, click on the three dots and unsave it. And then when you go back to saved items, everything there is going to be what you have not reviewed and or unsaved. I'm Teddy, your LinkedIn strategist and trainer with 3 quick little tips that I hope you will find useful.